Welcome top news today.
Image copyright EPA image caption. The plan has been junked in Florida over concerns about how it will affect the state's delicate environment and hence its huge tourism industry. The administration of U.S. President Donald Trump has exempted the state of Florida from controversial plans for offshore drilling for oil and gas. The reversal comes after vocal opposition from the state's Republican Governor Rick Scott when the plans were announced last week. It is set to trigger further demands for exemptions from other states. The 5-year plan was to open 90% of the nation's offshore reserves to leasing from drilling companies. U.S. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke said it would boost the economy and ensure U.S. energy dominance, but environmentalists decried it as a shameful giveaway to the oil industry. The governor, he said simply. In a statement posted on Twitter, he explained that he agreed with Gov. Scott's position that Florida is unique and its coasts are heavily reliant on tourism as an economic driver. As a result, I am removing Florida from consideration from any new oil and gas platforms. He said President Trump had directed him to take into consideration the local and state voice in deciding policy. Gov. Scott cheered the decision, saying he would never stop fighting for Florida's environment and our pristine coastline. But Florida's Democratic Senator Bill Nelson smelled a rat. Gov. Scott is reportedly planning to run for an open U.S. Senate seat. What does the decision mean? It means some of the Gulf of Mexico on Florida's western coast will be exempt from drilling, but not all of it. Florida state waters extend 3 nautical miles from the shore on the Atlantic, and 9 nautical miles on the Gulf side, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA). What happens now? Such a quick reversal begs the question, will the Trump administration give equal consideration to all the other coastal governors from both parties who overwhelmingly reject this radical offshore drilling plan? Asked Diane Hoskins, director of the Oceana Campaign Group, according to Reuters news agency. Maryland, South Carolina and Massachusetts are among states with Republican governors also known to oppose the draft 5-year Outer Continental Shelf oil and gas leasing program. 20,192,024. California's Attorney General was among several public figures who demanded similar exemptions for the states. What's so controversial about the plan? Both the scale and the nature of the plan have attracted criticism, including from a coalition of 60 environmental groups, nearly a dozen attorneys general and more than 100 U.S. lawmakers. Image copyright Getty Images. Image caption. Memories are still fresh of the huge Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. It opens up more than 90% of the National Outer Continental Shelf (OCS) for development, making more than 98% of undiscovered, technically recoverable oil and gas resources in federal offshore areas available to private companies. At the moment, 94% of the OCS is protected. Industry regulation was tightened by Barack Obama in the aftermath of BP's Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010, a disaster still fresh in many minds. Even the Department of Defense has concerns about how drilling will interact with the military exercises held in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, reports Reuters. However, industry groups have welcomed the plan.